Hey, this is Dr. Dave. Welcome. It's come to my attention that there is something that I may know about you. And the weird thing is, you might not even know it. Yeah. This is a little bit strange. It's come to me, but I'm going to explain to you right now on this episode of Microdose U. So stand by.
Enter the world of magic mushrooms with Microdose U.
Hey there, welcome back. I'm Dr. Dave, and welcome all Nakama. I feel your energy incredibly, and thank you so much for being here. I really appreciate you. You know, I couldn't do the show without you. I would be speaking into an empty mic, and nobody would be listening. So I appreciate all of my Nakama from all over the world. So thanks for being here. There was something that I had this feeling the other day. It kind of came to me, and it's really weird. In my life, but particularly over the past 5, 6, 7 years, I feel things that a lot of people don't feel. If I meet somebody, I can tell very quickly, like how they're vibrating, what they're like. If I can vibrate with them, if we're on the same frequency, I feel a lot of things. I feel if they're sad. I feel if something's going on that's not good in their life. I feel these things, and I've talked to other people that know some of these other people, and they don't feel it. So I don't know. And a lot of times, most of the time, I'd say it turns out that I am correct. So there's something that I feel about you. And if you allow me to explain, give me a few seconds to explain this to you. It's not going to be the easiest thing in the world, but I feel that there's a very strong possibility that you are listening to my episodes or watching some of the episodes that I have on YouTube. You're really curious about this microdosing thing. You want more and more information, and that's why you listen, and maybe you like to hear me talk about it and hear about my story, how it's like totally changed my life. But for some reason, you are fighting it as far as trying it out or starting the journey of microdosing. You're very curious. You're kind of looking in from the outside, but you're afraid. You're worried. You don't want to do it. It's not that you don't know. I take it back. It's not that you don't want to. I feel that you probably want to. And if things were different in your life, you probably would. But you've got some things going on that perhaps you don't know how to change or don't know how to get out of. You're in some tough situations that you're just kind of, you're there. That's the way your life has gone. And you feel there's no way you can make a change. And you know, and you kind of play the part that, you know, everything's good. I'm trying my best to live this life. But like in your heart, you know that you would like to change. You like to be doing perhaps something different. I'm not quite sure. You know, I feel that very strongly. I'm not sure what that different is or looks like, but I feel this energy coming to me that, yeah, you are like stuck with something and you don't know what to do. But so you don't really even try because you know there's probably no way to change it. If I'm correct, I will say to you, first of all, you absolutely can change your situation. But you're thinking, no, you don't understand, Dr. Dave. I can't. I'm in this too deep and I can't get out of it. And I would respond, yes, you can. There's nothing holding any of us in any type of situation, no matter what it is, that we have to be in. And there's no choice to get out. That's like, no, that's not true. That's not true. Unless you're a prisoner somewhere with armed guards 24/7, and then, you know, you're doing time for some reason, or you were held captive, and that's a different situation. But I'm talking about if you're free and you're living this life, but you've gotten yourself into a life that And maybe it wasn't your choosing. Maybe you were born into a family that's doing things a certain way. I don't know. I've got to dig deeper to figure that out. But unless you're being held captive at gunpoint, which I don't think you are because you probably wouldn't be listening to me, then you can change your situation. So think about this. Why are you listening to me? You listen to most episodes, but then you don't do anything. Have you thought about just that? Why do you listen, but then you choose not to make a change, not to do anything? Or if it's a change, it's a really small change that most people wouldn't perceive because you're maybe worried about what people will think or what people will say. So many people are in that situation. So many. I was in a really tough situation that I did not know how to get out of. And I only wish there would have been magic mushroom therapy back then. I only wish. So I don't have to go through what I was stuck in because I've talked about it so many times on this show. I don't have to reiterate unless you want me to, but I don't think I need to. But you're in something that you just feel like you can't get out of. So you listen to every episode and you enjoy hearing my voice and you enjoy hearing the stories. But then when the episode is over and I say goodbye, I love you, see you next time, you're back to your life without even trying to make a change. I just want you to ask yourself why you have to do this. Now, granted, 100% of the people listening to my podcast are not in this situation. Some of you have actually even gone through my program. My program where Dr. Denise and I help you hold your hand and get you to where you want to be. Some of you have done that. So if you've done that, then you're dismissed from this episode, that you're not in that category because you've taken the bull by the horn and said, I need help. I want to change. So this is not for you. If you're listening to this, you know if this is for you or not. You know. And I feel bad because I'm visualizing some of my followers that I know are in that situation. And you know something, you might be making a lot of money at whatever you're doing for work. You might be making a lot of money, but for some reason you are not feeling the love. You're not happy in what you're doing, and you're thinking like, do I have to do this for the rest of my life just to kind of for show because it's what I was told I have to do? Wonder how many are thinking that. I think more than you would ever dream of. A lot. And maybe it's difficult. You're worried about what people will think. I mean, God forbid you would go up to a friend or somebody you're close with or a family member and say you're not doing as well as you think you should be and you want to try microdosing magic mushrooms. And you're worried about what they're going to say. They're going to think you're a nutcase. They're going to think that you've gone off the deep end and you're listening to some weirdo. And how dare you even consider something like that? First of all, in your area, it's not legal. So go to an area where you can do it. What's stopping you? And if you're worried that somebody's going to think you're crazy for doing this, then that person does not deserve you. Then you're hanging around the wrong people if you're worried about somebody judging you like that. And if it's family, that's even worse because shame on them. Shame on them for not caring about you enough to listen to what you might want to do. That's horrible. So you're worried about people judging you. You're worried about telling the truth. You're worried about admitting that you have an issue. You're worried about admitting you have a problem. I've been through all that. Every single thing I just mentioned, I've been there. And let me tell you something. It does not get better on its own. It only gets better when you're willing to change. So you've got some choices. Well, one choice is to do nothing. Keep going on, doing what you're doing in your situation and not being fulfilled, not being happy with it, and knowing that you want to do something else and you want a different life, knowing that, but you're afraid to do something. So you just stay where you are. That's making a decision. That's making a decision to not do anything different. And that's a recipe for disaster over time. Every time something happens or something takes place in your life and you try to just like sweep it under the rug and not tell anybody or not admit something, it's like something is being banked in your soul there. It's like being saved in your soul, eventually to come back to wreak havoc on your entire body and mind and life. Don't think that you can just sweep this under the rug, whatever it might be, and it's going to be better down the road. It will not be. It will only get worse over time. Again, firsthand experience. Firsthand, I've been through it all. So, yeah, you might be the type that is really concerned about your appearance, and everything you do just has to look right. Because if it doesn't look right, you're going to be judged by people. God, I know somebody, this is a little off topic, but it's not really. I know somebody that is worried. This person likes occasionally using cannabis, and in his area, it's legal. But he's concerned about going to the cannabis dispensary because he thinks like a neighbor or somebody might see him walking in. And when I was told that story, I felt horrible for this person. Like, you cannot even live your life and you can't do what you want to do because you're worried that somebody else is going to see you doing something legal, mind you, and judging you and spreading rumors about you. I hope that's not the way you want to live your life. Okay, so let's make an agreement. If I'm right, and you are somebody that really needs a change, needs some help, wants to change, just doesn't know where to start, so you don't do anything. You just think it's going to be so complex to get started with this that you're going to ignore it. I want you to send me an email. Just tell me your story confidentially. Please make it kind of brief because I get a lot of emails and messages, and those that write like parts of a novel, it's very difficult to read because it's too much. It's too much. My brain works in like very simple ways. Short is better for me. Short is much better. But if this is resonating with you and you say, yeah, you know something, Dr. Dave busted me. That's not the right way to say it because I'm not busting anybody. I'm just revealing what could be the truth. I still love you. It doesn't matter. Forgive me for the words I use. It's okay. But if this resonates with you, you say, yeah, I've been listening. I want to do something, but I'm just afraid to do it because of blank reason. Shoot me a message. You don't have to live your life like this. Trapped somewhere and worried, basically worried about what other people are going to say or do or think. It's a formula for disaster. It might not be next year. It might be a decade or two down the road. I can't say exactly, but I promise you it's a formula for disaster. And trust me, you do not want disaster. You do not want to go through more than you're going through now mentally. You don't want that. I hope you have the wherewithal to do something. And if I've touched just one life today, one person who is saying this really resonates with me, then I've been successful. And everybody else listening can just listen and understand. But guess what? there's no way only one of my listeners is resonating with this, is going through this. Oh, there's no way. Many are. And my question is one of those you? Do you deep down inside want to see some type of a change, but you just don't know, you don't know what to do? Shoot me a message. I just don't want to see anybody going through that type of life. I don't want to see any of my nakama. I love my nakama, and I want my nakama to thrive and be positive and just really love every day and just float through and be like joyous every day and know in your heart that you're living the life that you want to live exactly. I was talking to a neighbor that just moved in next door to me, actually, or very close by. Young guy. I approximate him, maybe his age. Maybe, I don't know. I can't guess ages, but he might be 20s. In his 20s, maybe mid-20s, something. Maybe 30. I don't know. Mid-20s, 30. You get the picture. He told me what he does. He works for the state park system. And I could just see his face was glowing. And I said, you must love what you do. He said, I love what I do every single day. Now, working for the state park system, he's not making $500,000 a year. I can tell you right now, he's not making close to that. But happiness and fulfillment are so much more important than money. Because once you have a certain amount of money and you can put food on the table and pay your mortgage or your rent and your heat and your air conditioning and your utilities and your car insurance or whatever. Once you have enough money to do that, then everything else is extra, and it's not going to make you happy. It's not going to make you happier. I've been there. I've been there with extra, like a lot of extra money. I've been there. And I can tell you firsthand, I was not happier. Money, you can do some pretty cool things with it, but if you're not inherently happy with your life, it's not going to make you happier. I promise you that. This neighbor of mine, I just felt, like I said, I can feel things. He was happy. His eyes showed it. His facial expressions showed it. He was joyous. He was living his life exactly the way he wanted to live. Let me know if I have identified you. I think there's a chance. I just feel it. Okay, I want to say also before I leave you today, if you're brand new, then first of all, welcome to our nakama. If you're brand new, you might not know what nakama means. Nakama is a Japanese word that means kind of like, there's not like an exact translation in English, but it means kind of like our tribe, our family of people, our compatriots, that we're all together sharing the same vision and sharing energy. We're all together in a group. We identify with each other. That's kind of nakama. If you're part of our nakama, I really, really appreciate you. But if you're new, make sure you check the show notes. Every single episode, I've got some links, some very important links to help you along this journey. And well, you'll see. Just go check them all. They're very important. I wouldn't put them up if they're not important. They're there to help you in between episodes here. Okay, I'm Dr. Dave. I put a brand new episode out of Microdose U every single Wednesday and Friday. Sometimes we do a Microdose Monday, which is a very short episode that just kind of gives a little bit of information on something we got going on. But every Wednesday, Friday. What's today? Today is Wednesday, right? Yes. So today's Wednesday. I'll be back in 2 days with another one. And I expect to see a message from you. Don't be shy. Everything I do is confidential. I'm not going to share this with anyone else. I promise you. It'll be between me and you. Okay. Love you. Talk to you Friday.